Hi, and a huge welcome to the Sovereign Free Life podcast. I'm here with Marie from Sweden, a fellow entrepreneur and also engaged in water. And I'm so honored to have you here because you are an amazing leader in our community. You are also an experienced entrepreneur. You have a great spiritual heart-centered view of life that is so inspirational to so many people. And you're even, consulting companies and also have a background going into what is it called again? Dietist, like the
Dietitian and nutrition.
dietitian.
Yeah,
Yes,
nutrition
exactly.
area. Yes.
So you know everything about nutrition and how important it is also with coupling it up with water. And I know you've also done some amazing podcasts of your own. You have a Facebook group. You have a lot of experience also in mindset and also in um, really looking into different personality types, right? And
Yeah.
you have so much to give, and you have this growing, amazing team. And I think one thing that you do is you're always there. You always show up. You do the steps. You take it very seriously. You know, as an entrepreneur, that this is your responsibility, and you're really taking that responsibility. So huge welcome, Marie. That was my little introduction, but we'd love to hear more about your background and your story and how you came to come like this came to this deep dive into water, into nutrition, and also into the personality and spiritual aspects of things.
Wow. Thank you, Maneka, for that introduction.
Mhm.
And I think you kept all the perspectives that I actually stand for. So that is amazing to catch everything.
Thank you.
Uh, so happy to be here because I think it's so important to share stories because that's what we actually here to do, every human being. And yeah, a little bit of background about me is that from the beginning I come from I didn't know anything on entrepreneurship and nothing like that. I'm not from that background. Here in Sweden, we can and in other countries as well, but I'm brought up in Sweden, so I can refer to that. We call this jantelaw, so everybody should do the same. And actually, when I went to school, I was like very good at school, really good at taking in things, but it wasn't good. I mean, in other countries, it's good to have that, but again, kind of, you had to keep in the middle. So, anyway, so as you say, for when I was 30, I'm 46 now, I started to change my life and had my big, dietitian, nutrition manager job in a big company, had this national role of traveling a lot. But I just felt because I'm a Capricorn and really into careers and like, why are people running? This is can't be it, you know? It's just we can't live that like this. What
Mm.
are we chasing for? So actually there's personal things happen and I went to therapy and she said you have a really bad mindset about money and I had really they put me you should go to that seminar. So there I learned about all about investing, entrepreneurship. So I actually started with my private finance and set them up before I started my consulting firm. So I did the because I worked with nutrition and I started from being a nutrition consultant, but that's what I thought was the best step to do and figure out on the way. And that has been my surviving point when I got my daughter. She's soon 10 years old because sometimes you can like work 3 days a week and get up a full salary. So, but I always dreamed about, as you say, about working with people, transform, shift the world. We have that in common, Monica, even if you are more on the international arena than me. But anyway, we share that compassion and that, we're here to shift paradigms, and you start with every human being and with the planet, and we can work in different layers. So I always have this compassion and done a lot of leadership and transformational work, leading a lot of, and yeah, but in the same time, even if I work with nutrition and health, took a time before I found the holistic way here in Sweden. In a way, it's very much a big wall between Western and Eastern medicine. Even if people really want to change, I feel that a lot around after all the years here. I know what happened in the world, and but anyway, it was a actually personal journey, and my mom's journey with cancer, and me myself struggling with eczema and heart failures, and everything. I wanted so much all the time in my life, but didn't have the energy. The energy wasn't there, But some so, and I have some parts of my life when I like really, really have done transformational work. I have done really deep dieting to get heal myself. And actually, when I'm a really businesswoman, I love win business. I actually put that on I really love that statement. But usually I come into new things with my health not working, because that's when I have to reflect on things, when I have to stop myself. And I think people who listen to this can relate to that. So something big in your life happens, and you might change tractable or the way you're living, or you get oh, why I'm doing this, and you're reflecting on your life and why you're here, and I'm a big stand for that. We are here for live our unique self, and we are different. Everybody, we
Mm,
have different gifts.
mm.
So,
And can you tell, was there like a specific moment where you felt like, no, I can't do this anymore? Like the line in the sand moment?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There was one
Because
in
I hear you were like, you said you were on a national level, like in nutrition, or what did you say?
Yeah, I was working in a big company, like a food service company. I was working like a nutrition manager, and
Aha.
having the responsibility for all the nutrition part. But I work in
Mm,
sales and in everything. And I
aha.
was usually, as was alone, having that expertise in this big organization.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Yeah.
So you were really in the middle of the corporate world, you could say.
Yeah, actually
Yeah.
was. But when I met this business, people don't know this because
No,
it
exactly. It's like you
was
said,
quite a
it's
long
the
time ago.
Jantelagen. I told you before, like, just put that aside, like, show your expertise because I know how big it is, and it's
Yeah.
hard for us Swedes to talk about it, but you have really, so much expertise behind you. But tell me, where was the turning point where you're like, I need to do something different, like I need to.
Yeah, actually, as I said, I really dreamt of have my own coaching program working with women. I really actually had a line. It said, "Get off the hamster wheel and and get free." So,
Mm, mm,
but I saw when I did that, my daughter was younger, and I was running my consulting firm, and you're juggling family and had a lot of responsibility. Now I am a single mom, but at that moment I wasn't. And I did this digital marketing course for a lot of money, much more than this investment we have here,
oh wow. Mm,
and took up my coaching program, did the digital marketing stuff, and got some after 1 year or something. Yeah, get this going because I have that on the side.
mm,
But as I shared in the beginning, uh, the energy level for me, because I want so much, is also often the thing that limit myself. And
mm,
so I was standing like yeah, I was before 2020 anyway. And Yeah, I was actually try to limit myself with less consulting gigs. And I remember one night when I came home, had this wonderful meetings with this women with a coaching. I had free meetings in the city center of Stockholm. Came home, my daughter and her dad was asleep. I heard the, snow singing there, and I was sitting down, a bit scrolling on the phone. And then I saw that my customer I had in my consulting gig had gone to bankruptcy.
Wow.
So I wouldn't get paid.
Hmm.
So, and it was like, there was several other things happening as well. But that was like a line at some moment, this is not working.
Yeah.
This is not like, doing, wearing all the hats in coaching program
Mm.
and wearing all the hats at mom, wearing all the hats as a consulting firm. And, this like, yes, just
Mm.
no.
Doing everything. I'm completely hearing you because I worked as a coach for many years as well. I think for 5 years full time, and I have small kids. And actually, that was and I went through this terrible divorce. And I think I remember like being sick one weekend, and I would lose like half my income that month
Mm. Yeah.
because I had no one that could jump in for me. When I have my whole weekend was booked, with clients and workshops and things, and it was just like, this doesn't work. There has to be a better way. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think as an entrepreneur, I love to hear this because I think so many like entrepreneurs, especially if you're your own, can relate to. I mean, I've also been running a transport firm, coaching business, different kinds of businesses. And like you said, there's so many hats to wear. Like you
Yeah.
have to do everything, the marketing, the recruiting, the scheduling, oh my God, like
Yeah,
the
when you have a
bookkeeping and the
sale conversation, you need to be there with people and listen behind what they say, like, and like so
exactly. And no,
exhausted. It's like,
like there's no in that you come to a point, I think we see that will not stay. Like
mm,
if you have to be there all the time,
mm,
there is no like long-term expansion. Like what happens if you're sick or if something else? Like when you really experience that, I think
mm.
then you can also see other opportunities.
Yeah, yeah. And I actually decided then I didn't think about this opportunity then, but it's like
Mm,
I want to do this in co-creation because this
mm,
is not working.
mm.
So co-creation was in my mind.
Yeah, yeah.
And then a few years later, I have been working a lot with my health and been stable in my health.
Mm,
But in just before I came into this opportunity, was summer 2021 was quite a tough time in the world and in Sweden as well. And I got really sick, and I ate hardly. I just ate like white vegetables and and green vegetables and meat, clean meat. That's it. I actually have. You can see pictures of me. I actually have, yeah, all red in my face anyway.
mm,
And I have done a lot of work on myself. But then I went to this holistic health course and heard about the water.
mhm,
And I've heard about that before, but you know, I say about it sometimes it's, I'm fast, but I heard about it 2012, so I don't know. I
Why
wasn't
did
really,
you get started? You were waiting for the right time.
yeah, yeah. So, but now time goes fast in a way. People
Mm,
get more conscious much, much faster. You
mm.
feel so. Anyway,
So was it primarily for the health
yeah,
aspect
it was.
that you got the water? Or
Yeah, and but I had a few people around me, so I know. But actually, my sponsor Cecilia, who have been here in this program, when she said on the meeting that she working with this, I just I'm gonna contact her. I didn't know her. You just know, go with intuition,
Yeah. Yeah.
and because I felt like it might be something more here.
Mm.
So after a few months, I invested in this water machines because I went to a very nice woman in the community as well and got some water and got the results immediately. I have to say,
Okay.
everybody doesn't get those results immediately, but
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
I could
In
feel
what
it.
way? Like how, what did you experience? What was your
I
experience?
was already in the face.
Yeah.
I was really exhausted. I remember Christmas 2021. I just went to Ekerö, I hadn't time. I need to survive this Christmas. No, so I can
Wow.
eat anything is outside the box
No.
and be present. So I
Mm.
was quite exhausted. So I
Mm.
went there and had a lovely Christmas because I had this water.
Oh,
Uh,
wow. Really? Amazing.
so I
Mm.
know it's not, I have to, but it is what it does with the body, you
Mm.
know. Yeah.
And did you have just the water or the shower as well, or
Yeah,
some?
I actually, because as I was sick, my finances was not the best when I was on
Mm.
my own. I worked like 4 hours a day. I could just manage that.
Mm.
And I didn't do sick leave, which some small business owners might not do.
Yeah,
You just
you know
figure
that one
out
as
it.
well. Yeah, you can't be sick.
So, but happily, I had a really good gig at that moment, well paid.
Mm.
Um, so, and I could work at home.
Mm.
So I could when I got the machine, I was actually after 2022. It took me. I had a really rush all over my body at that moment, but I
Mm.
could feel how it worked inside. I got my energy back quite fast. Of course,
Mm.
the eczema took some time because I have eczema since I was 10 months.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
brought up on
Mm.
cortisone and
Oh, okay.
all the
Really
treatments.
severe eczema. Yeah.
Yeah, so my body is a bit of a mess, but I have been. But anyway, I bought a shower in the summer.
Mm.
Then that you should combine that. But there was also it took me a month to see the business because I was like I needed to clear my mind up, and
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But let's stop there for a moment because I think it's important because I think so many, of course, we don't make any promises, but your story is important of what actually happened. Like first you got the water and you saw some results straight away, and then you also got the shower. And what was the difference there? Like what was your experience also with the shower and combining the two of them?
yeah, because when you drink the water, if you have like me, a lot of medications many years, even if you have stopped it for many years, so you get so many symptoms and usually when you get symptoms, or when you clean it out, I don't
The
find the right
detox
word.
symptoms
A
and
detox, yeah,
symptoms.
great word.
Yes. So when you drink the water, it's very, for those who don't know, it's very antioxidants, like very healthy, but you can get some detox symptoms. So you got some in the
Yeah, and
shower.
usually you get the detox symptoms where you have the problems. Do you have
Mm.
problems with the headaches or with the stomach? And I have the skin. So there was such a relief when I got the shower because everything was pouring out. In and then I got the shower. It was like, laying and I have as my heart, I have a tendency to high blood pressure. So when you all these minerals put in your head, it's like calming the system down with the right minerals and the first time you have that bath with the skin when you had what was that 43 years with you don't you just never had a shower which you actually never have enjoyed.
Oh, wow.
that's,
Oh
that's what
my
you feel when
God.
you do
Yeah.
the spa. It's the
Oh, and
first
the
time you
first
actually
time.
enjoy a shower.
Wow.
don't feel that even if you can enjoy it, but afterwards
mm,
it's that always so dry and like uh, and
mm, mm.
so it's a really game changer.
And what happened to your skin then when you got the as well? How could you feel the difference?
Um, yeah, I was a little bit wrinkly and red and stuff, and that went away. So people's
Oh,
like,
wow.
"Wow, you're looking so good, Marie, with the skin and everything."
Oh, oh,
So,
wow. Yeah.
so it was a major change.
Mm,
So anyway, after a month, and then one an our big community came and talking about this platform we call Freedom Era, where you get education and you can have this automation part. And I went, my intuition said yes. And when I saw this model, how you can put a big, like high ticket affiliate offer and a product I can stand for and make a major change and put in that to systems that actually free your time. For me, is time. Of course, I have some finance issues, but I'm kind of that kind of girl fixing the finances. But the time issue and the energy issue is like you can have everything, but sometimes you can see the most like the that's time for me, and
that's
sometimes
most
energy is
valuable. Yeah.
yeah.
Mm,
So the other things I kind of sort things out.
mm.
But it's a lot of training from all the years, I can say, with because we are really programmed uh, with money mindset and stuff like that. So the
And talking about that, what do you think? Where do you see people need to shift their money mindset, and like how have you done that over the years? Like, what are some of the most important things? I think, like you say, I really hear that, and I know that too. I've also learned to like take care of myself first, take care of
Mhm.
your time, like set your limits. And especially as your own entrepreneur, you have to have that discipline to for self-care. But also, I mean, in our community, there's a lot of work with money mindset and to first dare to dream and see vision and then, take the steps. But what has that been for you like that?
Yeah, I went for it was in 2009 and 2010. I went for a course which actually was about energy, time, and money.
Oh, wow.
And
Mm,
it was a lot of mindset work, was 90%. But
mm-hmm.
I also learned the investor mindset, how you
Ah,
can actually invest in assets
mm,
which makes
mm,
money. And that's really funny because first thing I did when I started my business was to hire a cleaner because my time was more valued, even if I was single at that time, because I could see that if I work, I could pay 10 times more if I just skip that step because I don't like to clean. I get, as I have less energy in a way,
mm,
want
mm,
to spare my energy to the most important things to make me moving forward.
mm,
So yes, that I learned about those models, and that I've never seen before. And funny thing, I know I will left out my brother here as well, but I remember me talking about um, investing into now I don't find the word housing, not housing, into real
mm,
estate to my brother, and he's he's working with finances and have that kind of business, and he was like jumping on that course directly. His sister's talking about real estate investment.
mm. Yeah, exactly. It's funny. I
Yeah,
think
but we learned the quadrant, in like the how to
mm,
um, actually have this um, in- But even if you know in theory, and I always have a mathematic mind, so I have done a lot of investments. It's also something I had done before. So I have been looking at different investments models before.
Mm,
So I was in a and I had made a big loss as well at the
mm,
moment. So I needed to have some cash flow,
mm,
in the system. So sometimes, but you have to see, because many people, when they do the investment, it's so big, but you have to see if you can lend even if you lend money for it, you use some others' money to invest, and then you can get a return investment of health. If you have a health and energy, you get time and you're happy. I've never been so happy in my life the last years, I have to say. And
it does affect the cycling as well. Of course, when you get your energy back. I remember one event we had, and someone looked at all the people we were giving testimonials, and they're like, "You're all shiny. You have so much energy. What is it with you?"
And then if you just see because the system I have yet in now, you could be just an investor and then and just see the big picture and say, okay,
Mm,
do I put these numbers? Do I put this into the
mm,
system? I will, if I keep going doing this in 6 months, I will actually do I mean, I know if I keep going this year, I will have 2 quads package a month, and they which will do that. I don't need to do any consulting business, for example, but I might
mm.
reinvest and and whatever I will do.
Exactly.
But
And I think that is, I mean, these things are not taught in the schools. I know because I'm
no,
a teacher. It's like, it's like what the path that usually, put forward is like, get an education, get a work, like then you can get a loan for a house. Like you're not talking about like getting a loan to invest long term in your future or into a business that so you don't have to work ever in your life again. Like it's
no,
kind of
actually,
accepted that okay, you can loan for a house or for a car or for those kind of things,
mm,
but what about, like you said, for your health? Like the most important things, water is 70% of who we are. And then on top of that, a business that you actually get because, we started businesses where you have to put at least like maybe risk like 500,000 or like if with us with lots of cars and stuff and like I think when we had our transport business with like I don't know how many employees, 15, I think 20 cars, 24, like it's a lot of investment. Like in
yeah,
here, one of the biggest investments is like 120,000 kronor. I mean,
yeah,
it's nothing compared. And for us, of course, we were experienced. We got that investment back in 3 months.
mm,
But then we were very business minded and we really took it seriously. Of course, everyone will not have that result, but just if you see the possibility and you like you do, you like stick to it. You stick to the path and
mm,
you know have this investor mindset. Like
yeah.
there's no other way to kind of lift your life into the next level as I see it. It's just like
Yeah, and
you have
actually,
to
I
do
mean,
that.
yeah, and I met one of my who used the machine just, and she's like, "You're looking so peace of mind, Marie, since last year." It's like, because I know, it's sometimes it goes faster, sometimes it goes slower, but
Mhm.
deep inside, I know this will work. And of course, yeah, you can do other businesses. Like I had tried crypto and stuff, but here you can combine and everything. But here you have something that really there's a product that works, a company with a big vision. Actually, it's for people, not against people, and for working with technology for alongside nature, not against nature. And like you, and you have the community with like-minded people, and they stand by your side in up and downs, because life is up and downs. And you can do this beautiful personal development on the way and earn money as you learn. And actually, it doesn't matter where you are, because when we do, you and me have this conversation, people maybe think that, oh, I'm not a coach, I'm not a, you know, but actually, I have seen those years is if you have the willingness and the hungriness. I mean, my sponsor is the ultimate picture of that. Cecilia, like, she hadn't any experience, but she's very successful because she decided to do the steps.
Mm, mm, exactly. And it's funny, I've been thinking a lot about like who are the people that really succeed with what we're doing. And like you say, there's just one thing I see. It is the willingness. Like if you have a strong enough, desire and burning kind of vision and willingness to, and usually a lot of people with children, some without, of course, as well, but especially I see when either if you've gone through very tough health issues, you've seen a lot of pain in that area, and you know that what we have in our hands can, solve so much of those. You understand how serious it is when you
Mm.
have health issues, just like you, and I've also had it. And then also people with that just want to build up a better future for their kids,
Yeah.
or for themselves. If they can see it, they can make it happen. And it's I actually wrote a post about because we work a lot and just sharing a message on social media about investor mindset. Just I think it was yesterday or today, and for me it's so clear. It's like okay, people are willing to spend like 40, 50 years just trading time for money, but then you can have 5 to 10 years. And then after that, if you make the right investment and you're dedicated, you have the willingness, you don't ever have to work, and your kids don't have to work. And
Mm.
for generations to come, your whole family line
I got
is
all excited
secured.
again.
It's like, it's a no-brainer. Like, it's just like, okay, is it worth doing everything in your power if
Yeah,
it takes 5 to 10 years
yeah,
for your family line for generations to come to be
yeah,
secured? It's a no-brainer, right? It's
yeah,
like I can just, oh my God, like why, like you say, why don't people value their life energy, their
yeah,
time?
yeah,
I mean, I've gone through very tough times and ups and downs. You know that as well.
yeah. I know, I know.
I've been so
So I really
engaged
can relate to you.
internationally, and I've been like struck down and up in, but it's like so set in my mind. Like
Yeah,
I am, I'm in a good place now, but I'm going to complete like because I have things to do. Like I can't wait. I have things to do here. I know it, and I know so many others out there have things to do as well.
yeah. But you had some breaks as well, and that I love with this business is this also works taking breaks if you need to.
Mm,
It's nothing's as
yeah.
and one more thing, as you talked about, that I work with systems and that we are different personalities, so we can work in different ways in our unique way. And sometimes it takes time to find your way, and sometimes it's just if you are already coach, for example, have a big network and you drop something you love, people will probably buy it for you. So it's quite not simple, but it's uh, so depending on where you are in life and who you are. And one of my team is she's so good talking to people. Of course, she wants to have the leverage of ads and everything, but her she's like inspire people wherever she goes with her energy and light. So and another team is she's just so good with things at home, making everything so beautiful. And so I encourage her to, like, you should have like a shop or something, people coming and serving coffee and welcome home, so. But it's good to, as we have the leverage with automation, it's good with combination, I think. So, but sometimes to get going, you start with something that's very easy for you
Mm, mm.
and
And
be yourself. Mm.
yeah, exactly. And would you like to talk a bit more about that? Because I know you, what is it called, test that you make? I'm sorry.
Human design.
The human
Yeah.
design, yes. Because it's an important thing. Because I think as a lonely entrepreneur, solo entrepreneur, you stand there with all the hats and you have no one to collaborate with.
Mm.
And I think, like you said, in our team, because we work in a team, it might sound strange for other people. Like, what do you mean team? Like a football team? It's like, no, we're, we really collaborate to lift each other up and everyone has their part, right? Could you talk a little bit more about that? About like exactly
Yeah, because
your way of being and personality, because I think it's important.
I had a masterclass about it, the one actually about how you can think about it, and I think it's really important also to say that every system you use, whatever it's human design, where you look at this is quantum system, which I love, and you can learn and learn for many years. But there are two basic things actually, and it is how you're designed to operate and how you're designed to making decisions to take it more 3D. It's more spiritual than that, but just to take it down a bit. And most of us is generators. It doesn't say that if you are a generator, because you have a unique chart, whatever who you are. So that's
So
very,
just to take it from start, so you have like from your birthday, right? You get
yeah.
a specific chart, and then there are different personality types.
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah.
Or
Mm.
the way of, or a unique way of working from your flow, and a unique
Yeah.
way of working from your intuition, so you can be your unique
Mm.
self.
Mm.
Because
Mm.
usually when you working through a chart, you can see, okay, that's why this hasn't, even when you have lived for many years, oh, that's why this haven't
Mm.
worked for me, but for you.
Exactly. So
Because
it's more like understanding yourself on a deeper
mm,
level.
mm,
And because I think so many people are like, um, if you're maybe a round peg and you're trying to fit into a square hole, it's just like you're trying. I've been like that all my life, trying to fit into this
yeah.
big box. It's like I don't feel like I feel so strange in here. Like,
It's like, my head,
yeah,
the
exactly.
box is.
Oh my God. And it's so beautiful, like you say, what if you can be yourself? You don't
Yeah.
have to know everything. You don't need to be good at everything. Like you're not alone doing this.
Yeah, we have different kind of leaders. You just look at your team, Maneka. We are very different leaders, but
Hmm.
uh, it's not because I'm typical a projector who is very too much into other person sometimes and can see their potential. That's why I can talk about my team very much, like where they unique self are and stuff like that. But
Hmm.
I have other weaknesses, or what you say to work on. So,
Hmm.
but together, it's very good, when you can clutch different things and
Hmm.
we can
Hmm.
work differently.
Exactly. And I think this is something because in a way we're talking about like the new era of entrepreneurship, right?
Mm.
Because that's after like many years of being an entrepreneur, when I saw this, it was like, okay, this is where we're going. Like this is where it's leading to, where where you can actually do what you love and what you care for and what is important for you. And then there are other people doing, and I'm still independent. It's not like we're dependent on each other. We're all responsible for our own part. But then we are collaborating so that I can do what I love and other people can do what they love, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and get the resources. I think we need to put good resources in good people's hands.
Mm, mm,
Yeah,
Because we were talking about that just before we started, actually. 'Cause those who know me, I'm quite intuitive, and I feel we have a lot of, in a way, this feminine, intuitive, very flowing kind of making business.
mm,
I feel being in kind of the ordinary world, it can be very square and like these are the expectations. It's 1, 2, 3. It's very kind of, that's what I
yeah,
mean with the box. Like, and here a lot of people are being attracted into our business that
yeah,
want more of an intuitive, like I can go and do the kids and then I can work on the computer. Okay, now I have a little time. Now I can go and work there. Then I can go out in the garden because I do what I, and then I can have a rest. And then I do this podcast. It's like,
yeah, yeah. You've really done like such a beautiful life. I was on your farm several weeks ago. It's so amazing what you have created. It's so.
no, thank you. It's my dream. Yeah, I was, it is. When I
It actually
told it
inspired
like
me
that.
to change mine a bit in the near time here. So I'm
Really?
gonna.
You can move here. No, but I think it, yeah. But what would you say, like when we talk about, because you have such experience also with entrepreneurship, what would be like the new way of doing entrepreneurship for you? What does it mean, if you would explain?
Yeah, because everything when I coach people, I think you do that also. Is where is this? Where are you coming from when you're saying that? Is it from possibility or scarcity? That's like very important to see. Uh, but actually, in a deeper level, to shift paradigms, and you need to see it from another perspective. Otherwise, you won't see it. So that's the first. But then I think because I started to work with small business owner in another setting, and I can see that it's like a mantra that you work 60 hours a week and you should do it, and it's hard, and you have to do the invoices in the middle of the night, and you know, t- it's like way of entrepreneurial hamster wheel. We are talking about that. And you might working and then do an exit. So you work and work and work and work. Of course, you might not need to wait to 65 or 70, whatever it will be nowadays.
So it's
For
more like you shift the 9 to 5 to an entrepreneurship, like without actually,
yeah,
going into the
and
new era of entrepreneurship.
yeah, and
Yeah.
look at time leverage, at energy leverage, because why have a poor health? What's that kind of life? Have
Mm,
this feminine perspective, actually have time for reflection and yeah, going inside, actually connect to your heart and really do decisions based on your intuition and your heart. And that means both men and women. It's just not women. Men has a feminine side as well.
mm.
And so,
And I think the ordinary answer to that would be like, oh, but that's not serious. But how you're going to lose money if you take care of yourself? I think that's what I had, because when I was an entrepreneur, and the 9 to 5 was also like work, 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 and then you might have some time during the weekend for just resting for a couple of hours. It's like like you say, it's such a brainwash. And then many entrepreneurs, they just shift the 9 to 5 to, like when we had a transport business with like lots of employees, and I was like employed as a teacher, you
oof.
know, like where do you breathe? I remember someone asking me like, how are you doing? I was like, I don't know when I thought about that last, maybe a couple of weeks ago.
And now you
Who
can go
am I? Like, I don't even know. I'm a machine or something.
not so feminine. No, but I think we are also, I mean, as you do, looking for a more simpler life, but we have resources, go back to nature where we actually belongs and actually take in the modern technology working with nature. And we're
mm,
going to see a lot of that. And you know that I know you're so involved in those areas more than me.
mm.
So I
Could you
think
could you
it's
explain that? Because the shift, I mean, there's the shift from employee and then to entrepreneur, and what is the shift then to like automation, leverage, like valuing your time and health? How would you explain that? Like, how has that journey been for you?
for me. I mean, for when I grown up, I didn't know. I thought like entrepreneurship was greedy because that's what I learned from the society. And then when I went into entrepreneurship and investing, you could see that actually there are a lot of people like want to do good, but also, have this lose win-lose situation. And for me, it was really important to see on win-win solutions. Uh, but then, as you say, next step is to combine everything and have this time leverage and also connect with our humanness, but also the spiritual. And some people are like, oh, spiritual. But I can see when I work with small business owners, a lot of men who use the intuition, they don't know it. I can see how they scan and hear, so just a word. If you're someone who is not into spirituality, you can use another word, just intuition and big and deep knowing, maybe, or experience, but it is
Yeah,
more
or
than
like follow
experience.
your gut or
Yeah,
follow
yeah,
so your
yeah.
feeling. It's like, yeah, yeah, definitely. Mm,
So do you don't have to complicate? So that enlighten yourself and be peace of mind. Actually, create from possibility, create from what you stand for, not hiding. Just stand
mm,
in your light
mm,
and what you really are looking for. Why you're here on Earth.
mm. Yeah,
The
and
big ones. The big,
isn't it a part of us also like this kind of lack of meaning or people who do walk the corporate road or that are just like you feel like what am I doing? Like
yeah,
why am I giving away my time? Like why am I giving away my health to
yeah.
someone else? I think
That's
a
why
lot of
people
people
drinking alcohol on the night is scrolling because they have to,
calm down. Yeah.
yeah, or eating sweets or whatever,
Mm,
what kind of dopamine thing you need,
yeah.
or gaming or whatever you do.
Exactly.
It's I can see also it's
It's not healthy in a way.
no, it's like more, yes, you create a meaning, a purpose, why
Mm,
you're here, and sometimes you need to work on that. Things are coming up because you've been programmed so long and so on. So there are a
mm.
lot of allow yourself things to come
Mm.
up and create
Like
space for that.
I
Yeah,
think, I mean, I can say, sorry to say, but as like a female entrepreneur and kind of a strong woman, like expressing my views, you get a lot of shit. Like, have you experienced that too? Like, you have to kind of really stand your ground sometimes, and I block people still all the time. But, have you experienced that as well? Like having to
yeah. I'm a
kind of stand your ground?
even if I feel very strong in this interview because it's like being with you, I feel very empowered and strong, but I'm a total people pleaser in some context. I can be really shy because I was really shy as a child, and I can be
Mm,
really know somebody is going to yell at me and say I'm wrong, and it's like,
mm,
and you
mm.
do everything to please everyone. I can see myself sometimes. No, I'm doing this again, you know.
Yeah, you can't please everyone all the time, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's no way where everyone will be happy if you're paving the way, I
No,
guess.
no, and actually it's good because I'm in a context with a lot of men at the moment, and I can see how they speak to each other. It's like, okay, then I can too.
Yeah, exactly. But I know just talking about that because I know, I mean, in other countries, like in the US, Australia, and Asia, like affiliate marketing is like a big thing, and people, it's ordinary. Like, yeah, oh, you're doing that. Good for you. I had an American relative visiting, and there, like what we do is very well known. And so she was like, "Oh, good for you, you're doing that." And then I know still in Europe and in Scandinavia, it's not like well known yet. You know, we're getting there.
Mm.
But and I know there's been discussions in like Facebook groups where people are like, "Oh, it's a scam and who's bullying people and da da da." What would you like to say about that? Because I think it's also the step of moving to the new paradigm to
Yeah,
include other ways of making business where you can actually
yeah,
spend much less time and actually get much more back. And it kind
mm,
of triggers things in people,
yeah.
right? They think it's
I
not
think that's
possible.
Jante. I mean, American and Swedish are like very different cultures, and I sometimes actually did a post about the quiet Sweden when you're doing business, because I have the same experience when I did the coaching business. I come in contact with a American relative, and she went through all my YouTube, even if it's mostly was in Swedish. It's like, well done, da, da, da.
Exactly. You cheer each other
Woohoo!
on. Yeah.
Cheering me. It's like I was shocked because I had been like for 1 year, people like, oh my God, don't say anything. And they
Yeah,
said,
Swedes kind of ignore you. It's like,
yeah.
oh, la 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 la.
And so it's time to cheer each other, to celebrate each other's
Yes,
success.
yeah. Mm,
Because sometimes when you envy someone, that's actually something you can watch and like, okay, why do I'm jealous of that person's success? It's like a guidance for you. That's something you're actually passionate about. Use it for the fuel instead of,
mm,
turn that woman down. Or maybe
mm,
she's not perfect doing it, I mean, the small steps in the beginning. And you will
mm.
not either. And that's actually a reflection about you. If you've done
No.
another one, it's a reflection where you are. So,
Yeah,
so
yeah, but I think you touched on something so important there about jealousy. And I think
mm,
especially between women,
yeah,
like there's this, and it's everywhere, but it is kind of
mm,
that it's okay to bring each other down. And
mm,
especially in Sweden, in Scandinavia, this jante also like that you're kind of allowed to just throw out bad stuff about each other and
yeah,
bring each other down. It's like, but who gains anything? No
yeah,
one. Like no one at all. It's almost like this kind of it's safe to be like in the dark. Like
yeah,
it's safe to like be really like blood, sweat, and tears, and everything is dark, everything is bad, and
mm.
then you can't lose anything. Or what is it about?
Yeah,
What?
sometimes I feel like it's like status to have a coaching business, but why not like have a look outside of your box and have a look at high ticket affiliate combining with the coaching business? Then you have coaching business with the leverage instead. Just why not? It's like, oh, it's not
Yeah.
nicer to have my niche and because we have said that for 50 years now, it
Mm.
should be in a
And
certain way
I
now.
think it
I
can be
read,
like a reputational thing also. What will other people say? Or I'm
yeah.
doing something new. Maybe people won't understand it and they think I'm scamming people or doing something bad. Like, do you think it can be that as well? Or
Yeah. It's unknown territory. And you have some experience. Of course, it's direct selling, but for me, when it's direct selling, I use a lot of products from direct selling companies because I know they're good quality. Because otherwise, they wouldn't be on the market. Because I choose to work with
mm,
this company we work for because it's so unique compensation plan and the way you can create leverage and make a big impact at the same time.
mm,
So I haven't seen that anywhere. But I don't mind other direct selling companies. It's good products. It's like good
mm.
quality. Most you know. So
Exactly. But it's so good to hear from you because I was the same. Like I was had businesses for 15 years and I saw this model drop everything. Like, my God, you don't have to have employees. You're not having like venues. You don't have to have warehouses. You don't have to do the service, do the shipping. Like, what do I have to do? Like, I just have to be myself and share something I believe in. That's it. And
Yeah,
a
because people,
one-time investment. I think when you have that, when you've looked at businesses, because I've seen others also like Dolores, that we work with. She's actually been a business consultant for like big companies. She's run big companies. She also saw this model. It's like, oh my God, yeah, this is what I'm going to put my investment into, like choosing from so many different things.
mm,
So it's easy to see it, I think, when you have already looked into businesses.
mm,
But I think otherwise, it's so easy, like you say, to put it into a box. Oh, it's that thing. Oh, it's that
yeah.
thing. And you miss it. You miss
And
it.
I can see some Swedish coaches that say I have that network, and like they don't even look at it because still, even they had done the inner work, there still are some work to do. I mean,
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
be educated and have a look and really like you do the numbers because you're running a business, you can do the
Mm,
numbers, and then you can take a decision. We have a discovery process, you can go through it on your
exactly.
in your
Yeah.
office in your own time, and on a Friday or Saturday skip Netflix and do that. So
Yeah, exactly. And it's kind of, I guess, comes into many different areas, because I also love to actually look at things and really look into them, no matter what other people are saying. And then I make my own decision. And then I know I'm responsible for it. It's no
mm,
one else. But it's not that common. I think it's easier to, oh, it's that kind of thing, and you brush it off without being educated first.
mm.
And I maybe that's a learning for everyone listening also. Like, first educate yourself, and then you can make the decisions, right? Otherwise, the diamond might be right in front of you. You just walk past it.
Yeah, it might be like, okay, I'm gonna do this in 3 months because then I will, you can make that kind of decision also. And I mean, it's like we say, it's for many people, not for everyone, but for
Hmm.
many.
Hmm. Of course. Yeah,
And
yeah.
I mean, there are men in this business and they are really successful, but there are a lot of mothers.
Yeah, I guess. And I guess for me, I think I started the first few months of actually being home with my daughter. And I think that's a unique thing also for both mothers and fathers out there. At least in Sweden, we have like 1 year at home with our children. I mean,
Mm,
just to take time during that time to
mm,
build this up on the side, then you don't might not even have to go back to work,
yeah,
once you start it up. Because, I just talked to a mother the other day, like, yeah, she had to leave her baby like after 6 months or something, and then the father was going to be home, but it's still like, it shouldn't be like that. My heart really goes out to these parents that just, you know, trying to make ends meet and let everything, like, when there is another way. And of course,
mm,
everything new is, you have to take the steps, you have to learn, you have to invest. But really, everyone can do it if you want to.
yeah. And it's like the product can be in every home. So it's not saturated, the market is not saturated at all, actually. It's
Hmm.
just a
Yeah,
new game,
that's another
even if it,
good point as an entrepreneur. Like, what does the market look like?
mm,
And where you want to be in the beginning, right? When it's still not um, that big,
yeah,
especially
and it's
Europe and Sweden.
Europe is going to boom soon, so come on, guys.
No, it's usually you see it in Asia,
Yeah.
in the US, like Australia. Oh, this is already huge, and
Yeah.
we're seeing the boom in Scandinavia
And there's still
actually
a
right
market over
now.
there too, so it's no, no,
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
yeah,
But
but
there's
it's like Europe is like, hello.
it's like buying Bitcoin from the start. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
we kind of would have liked to be there,
Yeah, think of that. It's like I remember I was considering it, but I don't think
Oh,
I had.
really?
Yeah, I did because I
God.
did. But I thought it was. But I don't think I had. Maybe keep it so long anyway. So that's my.
No, that's the thing. Who has the business mindset? Who
Yeah.
has the long-term thinking, the endurance? Like if you can keep a plan
But
for
I
a
actually
year.
bought some Bitcoin and then double it like 4 years, 2 years ago. So it's. I
Oh
mean, it's
wow.
potent.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm,
So,
mm,
I
mm,
mean, I don't know crypto, but I know that like it's very different regarding to scams and regarding to, I mean, Bitcoin is it's a
the big
whole
coin.
system
Yeah. Mm.
itself.
But I guess those kind of things come in when we start to talk about online business because I was scammed. I think I've been scammed like twice in crypto, like
Mm.
this kind of arbitrage
Oh,
platforms.
me too, me too.
Yeah, you know.
But I
And
don't want to say that crypto is shit because
no,
it's,
no, but I mean there are scams out there. Of course, you have to be careful,
uh,
but you learn from it. It's still
yeah.
to kind of do these things and dare to risk things to
Mm.
learn. Okay, now I learned my lesson. Okay, this what we're working with here is like 50 years old. Has a track record. You learn to look at certain things. You know,
Yeah.
these scam companies they've probably not been around for more than a couple of years, and they can't show you long-term results like for just for one thing. So I guess you learn what you look at, right?
Yeah. And one thing actually, as we talk about investments and stuff like that, is like for them who is already, financially set. uh, this is also an investment for your health and energy, and really a tool for you to help other people actually create cash flow, like a machine, like your engine, like an engine you can give people. So even if you are like financially set, you can like help other people. Yeah,
And I
I think
think
that's a good
like
point.
me and other people, some people with money, they don't have the time, right? That was the case for me. Like we had money and we had a big house and pools and all
Yeah.
the stuff, but we didn't have time.
Mm.
So, like, what is really valuable? What are you going to do with your money if you don't have the time to live in a way?
Mm.
Right. Oh, oh my God. Yeah. And I think it all boils down to like, what do we really want, right? What do we, and in our community, what we work to bring people is the health, because if we don't have health, we don't have anything, right?
Mm.
And the time.
Mm.
And then once you have the health, and you have the time, and to have time you need finances, right? Then you can start to like think bigger, right? It's like the Maslow's pyramid of needs. I actually studied that when I was a coach and worked with some professors and stuff. But we studied like how do you move into having time for your spiritual development, like for your
Mm.
inner peace, so to say.
Mm.
And you have to kind of have those first steps taken care of. And
Yeah.
then it really gets fun, so if we can bring more and more people to that fun part,
Yeah.
oh my God, this world is gonna look so much better.
Yeah, because the most people are very, very heart-centered. If they have time, just if you go out to nature, you can get this idea just when you just calm down, not use the cell phone, and you can just wow, get a new perspective. And living, as you say, like that, more time, you can gonna be more effective. Uh, even if it's so easy to go back to your programming. I can say that's a lot of work to do. I still do
Mm,
myself.
mm, mm, mm. Yeah.
But it's a very big difference to be conscious about it when you go into that and then tapping back again. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It's like, I was having some health issues from like I had some accidents happen last year. And then, I wasn't into business as much. And it's always like when you start something new, or when even got back, even though I know, this works, it's transformed our lives completely. there is this insecurity you need to go through. Like, can I make this work again? Like, oh my God, is this like, how is it going to feel like now? Like in what we do, I feel when we shift, the business kind of shifts as well. We can actually shift with this business. We
Yeah.
can do it in so many different ways,
Yeah.
You can show up online. You don't have to show your face if you don't want to. You can just meet people and talk to them, like you said. But you can actually choose so much, like how you show up, how you want to do this.
Mm.
And then you just have to have the resilience to go through those mental blockages because they are going to come,
Mm.
right?
But
Mm.
you know, every coach, every person having through something, even if it's been a really dark times, you usually say that was actually the best that could happen to me, because you start feeling alive instead of living dead.
Oh, oh, that is so important. Yeah, yeah. Just like I said, when I was in the middle of things, I didn't even know who I was any longer. Like I haven't even thought about it. Like how?
Sometimes we need to go there. I've done a lot of times too. Like you need to go down to the
Yeah, you have to kind of hit your head in the wall until you're like, I'm not doing this anymore.
what was
I
my
guess.
my spirits works. Okay, she doesn't listen. We make her sick. Dunk.
Yeah, exactly. Isn't that what the body does sometimes? Do you think so? That it kind of like, yeah, like some people say, God kind of whispers in your ear and then he kind of pokes you and then he drops a brick in your head. Like, you just listen.
Well,
Come on, hello. There's something else here. How long are you going to be self-destructive? But isn't it kind of like a self-destructive kind of mentality overall to but you don't I guess you don't see an alternative, but just to be open to an alternative
yeah, yeah,
takes
definitely.
courage, right? When you're into that.
Yeah, and it really value yourself and your uniqueness and that you're here for something bigger. And really value that and work if you can't. I do every day because that's something I didn't learn or actually I don't know. I was born with a very deep feeling that I shouldn't be here and stuff like that. And I think there are many people, you know. So I work with my value every day so I can be that guide, be that support for other people to step into the greatness. So I mean, if you and me, Maneka, can do this, you can do, you listen to this too.
Oh, oh, that's beautiful, Marie. That's so, so beautiful. Because I think we're all just human, right? Like there's no one that everyone started on zero. Like all of us started to learn to walk sometime, right?
Mm.
And it's the same with this. Like I started out also completely insecure. I'd never done anything like it. I was like, of course, I've been an entrepreneur, but this was completely different. I felt so insecure. Felt like, you know, describe it like when you're jumping from a high level in the swimming pool when you're small for the first time. It's like, oh, God, am I gonna do this? Everyone is staring. And of course, you have to learn to go through some tough things as well with it because you're paying your way. But it's like once you're in the jump and it's just like, shoo.
Yes, and people cheer you.
Yeah, exactly. And you have this beautiful community around you. You see, you get coached by those who are living beautiful lives already.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
I
wouldn't
don't need to work actually. They do it
for
for
fun.
because they are so heart centered. Like that's amazing.
Exactly, for the positive impact. I mean, there's so many people in our community. They make so much money, after 10 years or 20 years.
Mm.
Then they love to do this because of positive impact. They see the changes in people's
Yeah.
lives. And actually, that's what you get hooked to when you see these huge health changes, the huge, like you said, also the personal development changes that people go through. There's like that I wasn't even expecting that. And I was like, how is this a personal development thing? I'm here to make money. It's
Yeah, I was like that too. It's like, oh God, I had done 15 years of personal development. So,
exactly. You have your cool cup. It's like, oh my God, I grew
God.
up a hippie child. My God, my parents did therapy with me like when I was 5. Come on.
Yeah, and I remember before I went to, no, I actually started this business. I was coached by don't ask me why, but from an Asian big coach.
Mm.
And, and no, I don't remember what I'm going to say here.
The
Yeah,
personal
he
development.
said to
Yeah.
me, yeah, I'm gonna like, yeah, I remember, Marie, I know it's the biggest hurdle for you to get through this. It's like, yeah, I know.
Yeah, there's always development to do. Isn't that
Yeah.
like after a while, even though you've done like 10,000 courses and this and that, you're like, okay, I'm here to learn again.
Yeah, it's like,
Back to square zero, like Andy, our coach in our businesses goes so far. It's like, you know what, Monica, you can't quit any steps. You need to like do the full groundwork, the pulling the weeds, because I'm constantly like challenging myself. And it's like, okay, yeah, I can't just rush through this. You mean no? Like I need to, you know what I mean, with the new
I
platform
know.
that we have. It's like, okay, back on the bench, like back on the
I was
learning
a
bench.
very, very, very much student last
Just
weekend.
do the steps. Take it easy. Watch again. It's like have patience. When I'm like me, like get it done yesterday, and like everything should happen fast, you know.
No, I think that's a good, also good thing that patience is gold in this business too. So, and
Mm, mm.
also an attachment in every business, of course.
Definitely, and also like learning about actually the technology and the water and the like. I've been diving so much into science lately because I have these like companies and even like a farm with 160 cows, interested to try this water. I have to do my study, like do the groundwork, and and it doesn't stop, and also question things that I thought I knew. I think that's something that I see in very successful people out there, that there's always a curiosity. There's always a, oh, maybe I was wrong about this. Maybe I need to learn something new. Like to be able to pivot, like to change direction and kind of have playful like dealing with business and life, and not just like, this is the way I do it. This is how it's always done. Everything else is like a scam. It's bad.
No, actually, just loving, like cherish each other, whatever business you're doing, or actually make that possible for Sweden as a country, actually. And I mean,
Hmm.
so we don't have to compete. We can create
Exactly.
win-wins.
Yes, so Sweden, can we have a challenge for you, okay? And the rest of the world too, please. Cheer each other, lift each other up.
Yeah.
Because, honestly, I've had to go through that too, where you think you're doing good when you are like coming down on people. It, you're never doing good that way. Like you are not in charge of other people. You're in charge of yourself. Like if we stay positive too. And it's not like, oh, I'm not seeing the truth, and I'm kind of sugarcoating. It's not that kind of sharing.
Mm.
It's just like, okay, you choose that.
Mm,
Maybe I don't want to do that. Maybe it's not my
exactly.
path. I can still say, oh, I'm so happy for you because you are happy.
Mm. Yeah,
Like,
'cause that's what I feel about you. But I mean, uh, it's a good in checking when I start to have thoughts about my sponsor or you as my mentor. It's good to start. It's like, okay, stop it. What's going on? What do I need to be responsible about? Not like because probably an inner child or something saying something need to take care of. It's not like it's giving some love to yourself first. because
Mm.
I'm mostly about compassion and love, because and then see, okay, what is missing, because now I'm starting to look outside myself.
Mm. 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 Yeah, and I think one thing that I've always done also in this is to kind of respect those that have walked before me.
Yeah.
Like have full respect for like for Clint, Balash, Andy, like Christine, and all our leaders, and just whenever I'm with them in their presence or like full respect, complete thankfulness, and just I just soak everything in they say like a sponge. Because to have that kind of humility that they have clearly have themselves, they
Yeah.
clearly have done so much work, you know, to pave the way for me. Like
And holding this huge
infinitely
space for us.
grateful. And of course, they're not perfect. Like no one is perfect either. We don't have to be perfect. Okay? Can we drop that? Like I'm not perfect.
I haven't been in any cooperation that's perfect before.
No,
This is so much better.
it's
But
like
there are still
if you
people in
don't
it.
like anything, then do it yourself. Like if you want something to be different, then do it. Like
Yeah.
don't blame anyone else. Right? Like it's yeah, just kind of navigating all these. Uh, it is like so many new things all the time, but like you say, to not project it out there and like Sweden and the world, like if we would just boost each other and be happy for
Mm.
each other, like drop that jealousy. Like, who cares about that? Like be inspired by someone, be happy for them.
Yeah. I actually did today because no thanks to this interview, I just because it was two team members in your team that put in some new teams today. And I think though one is my sponsor and one is another girl in another team, which is like, her charisma. So I'm sending text messages to both of them, like
Good
I
for
have to
you.
live the way I'm saying I do, like saying what I actually and share them up. Like you're so inspirational. But first, my
Oh,
ego was like, why wasn't that me?
why don't I have?
Or I should as a
That's the
coach,
thing, not to,
And-
when someone succeeds, not to think that you are worse,
No,
to
exactly.
not grade yourself all
Um,
the time, because the ego mind has this kind of grading mentality, right? Like, am I superior than someone, or am I beneath them, or am I better, worse? Like, can we drop that, please?
mm,
Yeah, I mean, you might have 10 sales in the next coming months, like
yeah.
because you've done so much groundwork right
Mm.
now, and that groundwork is just so important right now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
maybe,
sometimes you have
sorry,
a fast start and you get something in your way.
yeah,
Both of
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
uh,
I was lucky also because in a way I had already built up community with my coaching,
mm,
and I was like I'd done a lot of also inner work and those kind of things for many years before.
mm,
So it's like you can't compare where people
mm.
are at because it's yeah, you just have to keep on doing the things to that you're taught
Yeah,
by those who walk before you.
I think that's important if you have been in the area of personal development for a very long time and you had done a lot of inner work. That's just put yourself in a beginner's mood and be curious and so be open to what comes up.
Yeah, yeah. Amazing, Marie. I think we need to round it up there. My God, I could speak forever with you.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. But we're
Thank
really
you for all
touching on
who's
so
listening to
so
that.
sensitive things, but still like it's easy to say like, oh, just don't be jealous or don't be that. But I mean, just to hold it in awareness, like you
Mm.
said,
Yeah,
also okay, it's okay for me to be jealous. I'm not a bad person.
exactly.
If I
We're
am, we will
programmed to
jealous
be.
at some point. It's
Mm,
okay,
mm,
but I won't act on it. I won't let it rule my life. Or there
exactly.
might be doubts coming up that, if someone says something bad about you or about your business, or you might start to doubt or this and that, or something doesn't work out the way you think, but not to let that rule your future and your life, and to reach out for help also. Now I'm feeling like this, like to those around you, to your community, and just be humble. Like, yeah, because like when had been sick and I was on a mentorship call with Christy, I was just vulnerable and like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. Is it gonna work this time as well? And like, you know, just allowing myself to
Yeah.
be insecure, and just
Yeah.
when you allow yourself to be sensitive, to be
Mm.
insecure, to be everything you are, you become super strong
Yeah.
in a way. So it's the opposite. If you try to push it away and try to fake it and try to put up a facade, it's you're likely gonna let those things rule you instead, and you're never gonna like break through.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
but there are lots of kids outside making noises. I don't know.
No
No,
worries.
their friend here.
That's what we do too, combine with the kids. They can
Yeah,
be with us too.
exactly.
But my daughter is at her friend's house actually, so but never if it's coming and knocking on a door or something.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Our community. I remember when Sanna, I mean your son, we
Mm.
started, and we both had like babies on our boobs, and we were doing like webinars and team calls, and also Christine, like she's 3 kids, and they're running in and out of the doors, and like, that's our that's our way of doing business.
Yeah, I know. Remember when I had a workshop here with the team, and I don't like when it happens to me, but it actually happened. My daughter came in with her father and interrupt everything. It's
Actually.
like no, but it's very that's so
Mm,
so amazing that you can combine this and it's just
mm.
make you human, not like a
Yeah, to just let everyone be the way you are, be yourselves, and then we can have this as a financial engine, you know, in what way you choose to work with it. But yeah, it's just it's so beautiful to see what you are creating, Marie, and I'm looking forward to see us together in 10 years, what
yeah.
we've been able to create.
So looking forward to that too. So
Yeah.
glad to be here and thank you for all who is listening to the end.
Yeah. I'll have to go and take care of some wild kids.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Marie. And it's been so, so valuable to hear, all of your wisdom, all your experience, your knowledge, everything you've been going through. You're really paving the way for so many out there. And thank you, thank you, thank
Thank
you
you,
for being
Monica,
on
for
with us.
yeah.
Oh, I'm blessed to work with you. That's another good thing. You get to work and meet these amazing people like you, and you get to work together. And create a beautiful world together.
Yeah, thank you, Monica. So
Oh,
happy to be here and who you are and what you stand for. And the people who listen to this, thank you for listening for this. Because
yeah.
mm,
Oh, see you next time, Marie.
yeah,
It's
we
been
do.
amazing to talk to you. Bye bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you for listening.